Establishment Democrats are attacking Bernie Sanders, which is certainly nothing new, but he's not taking it lying down. So we covered last week, he was being criticized in his Fight the Oligarchy tour, and AOC were being criticized by Senator Elissa Slotkin, saying that they're out of touch and they need to do things her way. Well, he went on to NBC News, and Kristen Welker asked Sanders about that criticism, and here's what he had to say.
Senator Elissa Slotkin said, she said, Democrats should stop using the term oligarchy because it's a phrase that doesn't resonate with all Americans. Are you missing a chance to speak to a wider audience, Senator?
Well, geez, we had 36,000 people out in Los Angeles, 34,000 people in Colorado. We had 30,000 people in Folsom, California, which is kind of a rural area. I think the American people are not quite as dumb as Ms. Slotkin thinks they are. I think they understand very well when the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 90%. When big money interests are able to control both political parties, they are living in an oligarchy.
That's pretty strong. I like it. She is basically saying people are too stupid for these big words or whatever. And he's hitting her left and right. Elissa, more like you missed That's not very good. He'd never say that on TV. But I like the way he is approaching this. Apparently a lot of people do. I was one of those 36,000 in the crowd in LA. I think it was actually about 34.5. But anyway, it was still a very big crowd regardless. And by the way, Elissa Slotkin, if I'm wrong and Bernie's wrong, we're both dumb donkeys, and you're right, and specifically about the rhetoric, how to draw people in. His way pushes people out because it's ivory tower, it's too academic. Yours invites people in, do a show, come to LA, because your message draws more people in than his does. Why make that hypothetical? Let's directly see how many people you can pack in a crowd with your superior message that draws in more regular people. Why are you acting like we can't tell which is better? Why don't you actually put it to the test? And you know, of course, that she's not going to. But that said, you didn't come here, you didn't click on the video to listen to me. You clicked on it to listen to Bernie, so let's go to more Bernie.
Are you living in a democracy when Mr. Musk can spend $270 million to elect Trump and then becomes the most important person in government? Or AIPAC and other super PACs have enormous power over Democratic candidates. Those are issues that we have got to talk about. That is the reality of American society today. The very rich getting richer, working class people are struggling, 800,000 people sleeping out on the streets. If we don't address that issue, the American people will continue to turn their backs on democracy because they're looking around them and they're saying, does anybody understand what I am going through? And unfortunately right now, to a large degree, neither party does.
He still delivers them. I mean, look, it's a very similar message that he's always delivered, but he delivers it just as well, I think. Honestly, just run him in 2028. I don't know. JR, what do you make of this fight?
Yeah, the fact that he has to continue to say the same things he's been saying, that people have been calling him crazy and out of touch for. And then as people adopt some of them and then include it with their BS and their, and which will also combine it with their hatred and othering of other folks in order to make it seem like there's some kind of populace, I think we might be onto something with Bernie Sanders. But whatever, I've given up on anyone taking him seriously enough. So I guess we only get him in sound bites of reality and truths. Okay, so Slotkin says, don't call these folks oligarchs. Don't call them fascists. I'm not saying that's what she was saying, but there's that same group. No fascists, no oligarchs. Don't call them dictators. Don't call them what they are. Don't call them what they're doing with the direct and obvious connection and definition that describes what they're doing and who they are. Don't call them Hitler-like. Don't call them Nazis, despite them doing Nazi salutes, despite them actually carrying out the same policies that Nazis carried out. Why not call them what they are? It's weird. You might lose some elections. There's this guy named Donald Trump who called people losers. The Republican Party called them communists, socialists, pieces of garbage, criminal, anti-American, lazy, stupid. They called us all these names. Did they lose an election off of offending too many Americans? Because there's the majority of Americans is who they called these names to. So calling people accurately what they are and the things that they're doing enough times so people can understand what an oligarch is and how he surrounded himself with a bunch of rich people that will continue to fuel his presidency and fuel his rise to power. And the reasons why all these spineless Republicans say they're afraid of doing anything about it, because he has too much power and will destroy their careers, meaning their money and their positions of power. That's not an oligarchy. What are you supposed to call it? Nice guys? American? All that does, as the people who are complaining about this, it legitimizes them. It normalizes their behavior. We're not really normalizing it, we're just saying that it's fine.
Yeah.
No one has to ever finish answering the question. So what is it you want to do? Just point out what it is and say what it is you want to do. Let them call us angry. They do it already anyway. Let them call us unhinged. They do that already anyway. So why is it the name calling only works one way or another? Maybe because you're soft. Maybe it's because you're soft. And the guy that's softer than you just yells a little bit louder. It's about time to stop with this BS, man. We're so tired of it, because then once the stuff, sorry, John, can't use your words you like to use on this show. When your stuff hits the fan, they're gonna say that you're the radicals who run up and try and harm others, despite the fact they got several thousand that he just pardoned when they ran up in the Capitol because they lost. Losers, they're losers.
What they want is for all of us to just be fluffers for fascism.